Exciting times. There's Mike Liggins packing up after doing his live from Carrow Road for Look East, no doubt. Norwich City, of course, are still in the Carabao Cup, something I wasn't entirely convinced I would be saying come full time or even after a possible penalty shootout. No extra time tonight. But, yep, Norwich did the job. 3-1 in the end, all opening up in the last few minutes, having watched probably 90% of the game, which was tight and awkward, and a Stevenage side that didn't do much for the perception that Norwich aren't really easy to figure out and therefore stop. It was basically a high line, squeeze the game, and Norwich therefore didn't have any space and looked like it was going to cause them all sorts of difficulties to actually break them down. Conversely, I mean, Norwich did actually get themselves ahead for the second home game running, and had they not have won this evening, then to have been in a position where they were scoring first at Carrow Road yet not winning would start to be slightly worrying. But hello there, sir. Marco Stiepermann got the opening goal, which was good, but it was a wonderful free kick that got Stevenage level just before half-time, which kind of scuppered things a little bit. The second half was, in truth, awful. It was a shocking game of football, really. Norwich very patient in possession, but did not a lot with it at all. Stevenage offered almost nothing going forwards, but were hugely resolute and compact at the back and had enough height. Interesting, Norwich are struggling in the air. I mean, they were probably mismatched tonight anyway, but they did so against West Brom as well, and it'll be an interesting how much of a theme that is over the course of this season. But clearly aerial battles is somewhere that Norwich seems to be losing out, which is of course slightly worrying given that we all head to Bramall Lane at the weekend too. But late on, the introduction of Onel Hernandez from the bench. It was a strong bench as well for Norwich. Kind of made the difference. Norwich then had a bit more impetus and a bit of pace, and does reiterates the fact that Norwich have only got limited pace options this season. But Onel came on. He's a man banging form. He's going to be so crucial in this kind of form for Norwich over the entire season. He livened things up. I think the goal that got Norwich back ahead was Teemu Pukki came on, a corner from McLean, Pukki little flick, and it basically hit Christoph Zimmermann. I don't think he knew anything about it, but they all count, and he claimed that one. And then it was Pukki himself who drilled home low across the goalkeeper to make it 3-1, and Norwich could have had more. Dieng, the Borough goalkeeper, made some really good saves. Dennis Trebani was on the end of one of those. Kenny McLean had a little battle with the keeper as well and probably should have scored a couple of times. And Daniel Varker isn't lying when he says in the end it could have been 5, 6 or 7. But it wasn't. I think with the games like this, it's so hard to read them because ultimately Norwich have done their job. They've won the game. It's a side that hasn't played together a lot, and in the end they've kind of ridden it out. They've proven they've got enough quality, but just wasn't the best game to watch getting through there. And there is huge frustrations with how Norwich go about things. But let's see what we get at Sheffield United, which, as I'll say again, is going to be a hugely difficult game given the entire context of that fixture, what happened last year and what Norwich have got this year, and how that's all going to look. We did get a look at a few other players tonight, and obviously the ones we all know about. I don't think there's anything that really stood out from then. Again, Maurice Leitner got what is probably his first assist in a Norwich shirt for Stiepermann's goal. Quick thinking from a free kick, but his defensive exposure is an issue for me, because if you want to get the most out of Maurice Leitner, you need 3 players ahead of him who are going to score goals off the back of his creativity, and 2 players behind him to make sure that Norwich aren't open. And that's a lot of players to accommodate around Maurice Leitner when he's not quite bang at it. So, interesting one what happens with Maurice going forwards, because I still love him with the ball, and he does keep Norwich moving very nicely. So if I think about Norwich's side, Michael McGovern in goal, which was that was as we expect from Michael McGovern. We all know what he's about. Felix Paslak, need to see much more of him. I mean, he's quick and he's quite lively going forwards, but his use of the ball I've not seen great shades of. Defensively, he gets a little bit caught out. I'd like to see a little bit more of that. I think he's a bit of a halfway house, and maybe needs to play when Norwich are playing with wing backs, which they haven't done yet. Zimmermann, we know what he is. I thought he did well. He captained the side tonight as well. Ben Godfrey alongside him was probably the best of those called in, I thought, today. I thought he was good. And, Grant Hanley said he's got too much football to be a centre-back almost, and there is still an essence of that. There's still maybe more we could see from Ben Godfrey, but he did well tonight, I thought. Max Aarons, the bit he looked most comfortable was when he bombed down the right. He is a right back and he played at left back, and that's a little bit of a shame because I think he has got more to offer. but it's not really his ideal position to show it, and I would like to see him play at right back. I'm not entirely sure he's ready yet for regular first team action, but
get in there, Norwich!
Someone's very excited with the 3-1 win. He was also very excited that Ipswich got knocked out on penalties. I'll say that, and I think he'll probably pop back and say that in a bit as well. Then across in midfield we had Tom Treibel, who played and only picked up a knock actually, which is going to be a bit of a worry heading to Bramall Lane on Saturday. That's a bit of a shame if that's the case, because he kept things moving quite well, Tom, today, and doesn't really want to get involved in any more injury issues. Everyone who's left very excited, and they're keeping it to thumbs up and waves. So that's good. Who else do we have? Louis Thompson, I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with tonight. Good energy, got forward when he could, but didn't quite have the spark I was maybe hoping for. Already mentioned Moritz. Marco Stiepermann was relatively busy. I like Marco. It's good to speak to him afterwards. He's really enjoying playing in England, and he did have a really injury hit second half to last year. So he's an interesting player, Marco. I like him as a character too, and he's sort of busy. So maybe there's a bit more for him to offer as well. He took his goal well, but I mean it was like a header from 2 yards out, so even I probably would have taken that one okay. Todd Cantwell opened really well, then got a bit quiet and a bit lost, I thought, in the game. Never shone away from getting the ball, but also didn't really get to create much from it. So for a first senior debut, full debut for Todd, obviously no crying shame in that, and he lasted the full 90 minutes, but more to come from Todd definitely, and that may still for me be a loan away before the window closes at the end of August, I think. Dennis Rabani came live when Onel came on. I thought that livened him up. Probably should have scored up until that point, in and out. There are lively bits from Dennis. There's definitely more movement from him now than there was last season. He does look more comfortable. It's just another kick-on that we need, and we're going to keep needing those kick-ons, and they'll get harder to keep delivering. But he's still a young man, so we will see. But I think that's it. Kenny McLean came on and showed great energy, should have scored. And Timu Pukki did what he did, what he does, which is sort of float around and cause some really good moments. Timu's an interesting one. He's like an understated player who actually delivers goals or moments, which is interesting, because there are some players who float around and look beautiful but maybe don't create as much. Anyway, so there we go. Norwich are through to the next round. That's something that Ipswich fans can't say, so I guess that will be a positive for here. Just over 11,000 in here tonight, which is quite low attendance, but obviously not much draw on the game. We'll see who Norwich get in the next round, which is drawn on Thursday. Hopefully it's not drawn at a stupid time in a far-flung place, not in front of live cameras, because that really would be quite entirety ridiculous. So fingers crossed. And as I said, Norwich head to Sheffield United on Saturday, a game that will be very, very interesting indeed, given all the shenanigans that happened last year. For my money, yeah, I'd still turn up late and see how they deal with it. So there you go, Daniel. That's what I would say. I think that just a few injury knocks. Marco Stiepermann had a knock on his knee, same as the first game of the season, but he's hoping it'll clear up after a couple of days. Tom Treibel they've got to have a little look at too. But other than that, we will wait and see who is fit. I'm going to sign off. Norwich are through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Oh, praise ye. Let's see who they get next.